Welcome to the Healthy Metal Hippie Podcast, where art and wellness collide. Well, hi and welcome back to the Healthy Metal Hippie. Today we are talking about kindness and the ways that it makes us thrive in the world, in our own personal worlds, in our external worlds, and in the bigger picture of the world. I've been doing a lot of brainstorming and writing down podcast ideas when they come to mind, because I always get these little flashes of, I think maybe I want to talk about that, or that sounds like a good topic for me, or something that I'm just interested in talking about. And so this one, as we're writing down all sorts of fun little things to talk about, was inspired by my Hello Kitty notebook. It's super cute, right? Yes, but it says kindness wins at the bottom. If you're not watching it on YouTube, it is just a cute Hello Kitty notebook. And it says kindness wins with all of her friends at the bottom of it. And so whenever I write things on it, I always feel like these are the exciting things, the inspiring things, the things that make me feel like, hell yeah, that's kind of the vibe that they give. And I'm just going to go on a little brief tangent for a sec, but I saw this thing. It was probably like more than 10 years ago, but they were talking about it's either a fuck yeah or it's a no. And, there are things that, like, put your laundry away. It's not usually a fuck yeah, but it's good to do that. But when it comes to the bigger things in life, I try to live by the, hard yes, instead of living by the indifference. So when I write these things down, they give me that fuck yeah feeling, and I love it. And so it always makes me really happy to read these lists and pull from them and make little recordings about them. And maybe we'll have to talk about that whole hell yeah theory. We'll call it the hell yeah theory. But today we're talking about kindness and the fact that it does just completely shape our entire lives. And also, like, the lack of kindness completely changes and shapes our lives as well. I think on the easiest terms to think about it, I put it into thinking about my work, whether that's in my part-time work or whether that's in doing the podcast or working with artists. And I think the best way that we can get things done is with collaboration, with excitement and interest in each other, where we work together, we're excited for the same ideas, and we're just lifting each other up. In retail, I always think about it like that the Karens, where they come in and they're complaining and they're here to have a confrontation and fight and be angry, and people sometimes feel that being tough is the way to be. And I've kind of let that go. I don't think I was ever really like a tough person, but I recognize it more and more every day that being that tough guy, it actually doesn't really get you anywhere. And people kind of end up looking poorly on you, or thinking you're a bully, or maybe it's both, or maybe it's so much more than that. And I mean, we can look to specific well-known people in the world to know that that's absolutely true. When I met with those situations, and I mean, I think on one side, people have a right to be upset about things, right? And this isn't about like you being upset is not justified, because it is justified. Maybe not to quite the extent, but yeah, your feelings are valid and being upset is okay. All that, we're not debating that. It's totally fine. The thing that's not okay is being aggressive about it. Just, straight up being a bully. It doesn't really solve anything. And I mean, I know this is not new information, but sometimes it's like, if you've kind of been brought up with gotta be tough, like I say, to get your point across or to have your needs met or be taken care of, it's understandable if that's the way that things have always been, and it's hard to change that outlook. I think about sometimes, if I am dealing with somebody like really in any job I've had and somebody's upset, I always think approaching it with like an openness, with understanding, with love and compassion behind it. I think that's the way that you can solve things so that everybody ends up happy at the end of the day. And putting yourself in somebody else's shoes can be really hard sometimes. And admittedly, I can't. I'm not sitting here saying I'm a saint. I try to see things from other people's perspective, but I have times where I will just freeze, or I will, just be cold and like very cold. And I accept that. So I'm not sitting here saying I'm perfect by any means, but what I do try to consider the other person and like, hey, if I had this problem, how would I approach it? Or we're not even really talking about being upset. We're just talking about being flat out mean. The other thing that I really don't get is, I think in general, just like not being interested in helping your fellow man, your fellow woman, but your fellow person or your pet. I don't understand not being willing to talk about the things that you love in life, and whether it's an artist you love, or like you just went to that new restaurant and it was banging, or I don't know, you like discovered a new park and there's like this really beautiful tree that you climbed and that it's like, and that it just kind of made your day. These are the experiences I think we're really, really hungry for. And the sad thing is, like, if you want to talk about how the algorithms work and all that business, you see, again, I think so many people are sick of seeing rage bait and clickbait and things that are there to stir up negative emotions. And I think, it's so easy for us to like remember bad things that people have said to us or done to us, but also forget all the good things too. I'm sure I've talked about it on previous episodes, but there's things that I have carried with me for a long time. And I think all kinds of people do. And so I think even about putting out, say, a lot of hate towards an artist, or you're doing reviews, so they all have to be really negative, really hard hitting and this and that. Like, I'm so tired of it. I want to hear what's cool in the world. I want to hear what makes you happy. I want to hear what makes you excited and feel like the magical spark of life. What ignites you? The more I think about it, the more I realize that I even think about it when it comes to like this podcast. I have a lot of really cool, like growing artists, growing businesses, really awesome, incredible people that are doing incredible things. And they might not be like the most well-known. I'm not the most well-known, not by a long shot. And a lot of these people are a lot bigger than I am. But the really cool thing is, like, we collaborate and we introduce each other to new people. And so the things that we're passionate about and we love, they just keep growing. And it's exciting. It's exciting to be part of that, to have somebody have a great time collaborating on something with you and you had a great time with them, and you keep watching all of it. You can just continue to see how these collaborations grow and how this positivity and excitement just continues to push these things out to the world in bigger and bigger ways. I talk about it a lot, but like, it is really that shouting out about all the things that you love in the world and the things that make you happy, the glimmers, right? I think they should just be called sparkles, as I've mentioned. I even have sparkly lipstick on today, but I think they're very important that we shout about them, because there's a lot of stuff that's out there designed specifically to pull you down and things like that. And it's like, why do we want to do that? I thought we all like want to be happy and live cool, fun lives and make our worlds brighter and more connected. The only way we do that is with each other and making a commitment to kindness. When you offer somebody some compassion, some little bit of time, a little bit of listening, and look, I know we're all short on time, but we don't have to be short on compassion. We don't have to be short on caring. And maybe that's another thing, is you're going to see this in another episode down the line, but maybe it is about slowing down a little bit. Kindness is not only something that's good for you and makes you go, I'm a good person, pat on the back. It's something that keeps community thriving. It builds our societies, and it takes care of the people in our lives, and it makes that impact outward. And so it's never really about you. It's about all the people that you share it with, and the people that you love, and the world that you work to make a better place. As I've said before, I so believe in leaving people better than you found them. And again, I know I have had times I do not, and it takes a lot to be really conscious about it and make sure that you are, as much as you can, leaving in a better place. But every single little step that you take about being conscious towards kindness and caring for people around you, it's a step in the right direction. I have been actively working at making sure I have kind people around me, making sure there's love around me and compassion, and making sure that I can show up in the same capacity to the best of my abilities. And we're not all 100% every single day. Nobody is. We're probably never even 100%, Maybe we'll hit the high 90s sometimes, but we're never 100%, let's be real. But the thing is, I've noticed that when you bring the right people into your life and you are surrounded by good energy and people that are aligned with you and your values, and that your nervous system kind of relaxes, and it gives you that positive energy and power to move your life forward. And I feel like, the last 8 months or so have been extremely transformative in bringing me towards my goals and my dreams. And I think a lot of it does come down with looking for more collaboration, getting the right people around you, taking care of yourself, and looking for beautiful, beautiful moments in life. If we can give that to our best capacity to everybody else, and they'll continue to give it back to us, I think we'll watch how quickly everything grows and how rapidly things change, and how beautiful life can become when things have been really difficult. And so, what things do you do to practice kindness in the world? And is it something that you feel that you need to focus more on? Or have you made it a focus and found that your life has completely changed since you did? I'm super curious. So drop me a comment, send me an email, and let's keep that conversation going. Talk to you soon. Lots of love. Bye. Thanks so much for joining us on the Healthy Mental Hippie podcast. For more ways to connect, go to www.healthymentalhippie.com.